online giving thing. Matter of fact, if you look at them now, it's voicessandiego.org, and they have this thing, March to 1,000 members or something, and they've got 900 or something like that, and they show you where the money's come. They list everybody that's given.
Oh, really?
And hey, I really will take from anybody. I'll take from Scott Rothstein, but it has to be.
Now, wait a minute.
No, but the problem is. Wait, let me finish. And the reason I say that is newspapers traditionally. I mean, let me give you an example. The Miami Herald and the Sun Sentinel for years took money from Jim Moran, who was a local car dealer. Not a car dealer. He owned Southeast Toyota and JM Family Owners, huge company, control all the Toyotas in the southeastern United States. They accepted his advertising, okay? Well, back in the early 90s, I wrote a number of stories when I was at a different paper, a local business paper here, about, there were all sorts of things, but there were allegations of racism, allegations of fraud, allegations of cheating, the dealers that were in the network. Anyway, the bottom line was, plus the guy was a felon. He cheated on his taxes and he got nailed.
And they still took his ads.
Yes, and they still took his ads. And there was, there was the case of Brandsmart. They got nailed for cheating on how they were advertising in the paper, and both papers still run their ads. So it's like you have to accept it. You have to be able to. It may sound corny, but you got to be able to look in the mirror as to who you're taking it from. But if you accept it in a neutral way, and if you don't show any favor, and if you tell them up front what you're going to do. Like I asked the guy at the Voice of San Diego. He told me they're getting $100,000 from the guy who's the head of Qualcomm. Okay? That's a local company out there. And I said, what do you do if you catch him with his pants down? And he says, well, it's a good question. We haven't caught him yet.
Are they looking?
But we had, they said, yes, he's on our beat. We cover the company. But they said they had a discussion, with that person at the outset who basically said, these are my words, but the way it was described to me was that, you're not buying immunity here. So you have to make sure that people understand if they're going to give you money in large amounts, that you let them know that that's not going to occur. And you just say you're doing it because, you're going to get a tax break, you think it's good for the community, whatever the reason is. And if you don't want to do that, if you don't know that going in, then don't give the money.
It should be noted that there's one more model that's been raised in the last actually month or two on Romanesco, in which, I don't know who it was, but a high-level editor at a major paper suggested trying to create a local journalism analog to NPR and taking actually government grants and government money the same way the McNeil-Lehrer report every single night comes out and without fear or favor reports on national news, even though they're getting money from Alcoa Aluminum and who the heck knows. And obviously that's
right. We all get every journalism enterprise gets money from the community. It's how you get it that matters and what you do with it.
We had to turn down an ad this week. I felt like that the advertiser, they were selling a supplement and making claims for it that I felt were unethical and unfounded. They were making claims that were contrary to the FDA, even though they haven't been listed on the FDA, but just because the FDA hasn't found them yet.
But
I don't know. I didn't ask the ad people, but I'm just saying, they asked me, should we run this? And I said no.
But newspapers, they'll run ads for all sorts of stuff like that are questionable.
Of course they do.
And but the answer has always been that they're not going to make a moral or other judgment on whether or not the person that's placing that ad has hell, they run massage parlor ads for years, still do, I think. And it's like, they're not in the business of judging everybody. So.